Yeah, I mean, because that next year in 1997, Biggie gets killed.
Yeah.
And, I can honestly say with all the people I've talked to on and off camera, I'm still not quite sure who killed Biggie to this day. The Tupac story I know, but the Biggie murder, I honestly don't know. It's still unsolved, and it could go too many different directions.
I would just say this. Me being at that party and reading that party as soon as I got into it, I told my dudes, like, I was like, Lo, let's go. He was like, huh? I'm like, let's go. I instantly knew when I started walking through the party and understood, and then I think Nate Dogg got into it with some folk. And and then the party started changing. You know, in LA, the party could be live and then it should get dark. And it did that. It went dark. So when I seen the FOI and then the gang members, when I seen everybody face change, and they was totally, as far as LA as a community, watching Big and Puff in that party, celebrating like that. They celebrating the album, but the West took it as you celebrating the death of Pop. You know what I mean? So that happening that night, shit, man, everybody was all in on it. That's why you don't know the true history of what really happened behind it, because in LA's eyes, you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have. So whether it was wrong or right, it's gonna be put into the gang, book of rule regulations. So in regulations, we got to do something. So I think that that was the only way to even the score for everybody involved. And if you think about it, bro, Hollywood went black after that. Like, it just died. You got to remember all the stuff that was going on in LA at the time. You got John Singleton, everybody just doing movies. Black Hollywood is everything. And after Big got killed, it just seemed like Black Hollywood died. You know what I mean? And it still never recovered. You know what I mean? You either had to go corporate or you had to figure it out. And I look at the music business and I say, man, look how much we lost as a culture by those two dudes leaving at that point in time, So yeah, I've lived through so much of it, and from Pac, from Soulja Slim, from Pimp C, music has been this shit has been like the streets, man. On my regard, you know what I mean? Because it's like, few of my friends really gone. Few of the people that I really did my first stuff with gone. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I never just took music as being something that was you could play with, because I know how emotionally involved people are about music. So, directing it in a negative place, I've never just been a fan of that. So to watch Death Row at that time being such a musical giant, to destroy all that over nothing. You know what I mean? You kind of look at it and you was like, the death of Death Row really messed up the West. It kind of like they hadn't been able to they didn't get back on their feet till Game showed up. And the 50 Cent movement, you know what I mean? Like, that's when the West got a little more light and started coming back. Eminem joined the team and Dre back, you know what I mean? So you got to look that even Snoop couldn't do it by itself, you know what I mean, after that happened. So, I just look at us as individuals being in this culture that we have to understand that music is forever and so is death.